I made a video a few weeks ago about the possibility that the US may be planning to go to war with Iran. And it looks like we may have gone a few steps further in that direction with the developments that we are witnessing in the Israel-Hamas war. This is a war that could rapidly spiral out of control and extend way beyond the Israel region. So let's examine what is happening. So Israel is currently bombarding Gaza, where Hamas is based, and it looks like they're intent on essentially flattening Gaza and eliminating Hamas out of existence entirely. They may be on the verge of sending troops into Gaza to reoccupy Gaza, and they will then ensure that Hamas goes out of existence. Obviously, the Hamas leadership is based in Qatar. That's a whole different story. We'll not go there right now. But there's also the possibility that Israel may very rapidly find itself embroiled in a two-front war, because north of Israel, in southern Lebanon, you have Hezbollah, which is another sworn enemy of Israel, and there is some action happening, some military action, some fighting happening in that region. If Hezbollah invades or goes to war with Israel, then the IDF may find itself overstretched, because it will have to fight on two fronts at the same time, northern Israel and the West Bank. And then there's the possibility that Syria could get involved, and Jordan could also get involved in all this. And Israel has said that if Hezbollah starts a war with Israel, then they will bomb Damascus and they will go after Bashar al-Assad and all that. But Hezbollah may anyway go ahead and start a new front against Israel. Now, the thing is that Hezbollah and Hamas are both backed by Iran. And Iran is a sworn enemy of Israel and its backer, the US. So that's where things are complicated. And we also have the Saudi Arabia angle, the major power in the Middle East region. It was on the verge, essentially, of signing a peace deal with Israel. That's not happening now. The Saudis have said that they're not going ahead with the negotiations, which were supposedly in the final stage. And Saudi Arabia has essentially blamed Israel for what's happening, the war that's happening. Egypt has blamed Israel for what's happening. Now, if Israel finds itself in a two-front war situation, there is a possibility that it may start running out of ammunition, because Israel has been sending large quantities of ammunition to Ukraine. So what does Israel do if it's running out of ammunition? It can ask the US for ammunition. The US has also been sending large quantities of ammunition to Ukraine, and so have all the European nations. So Israel may find itself on a sticky wicket. It may face the possibility of running out of ammunition. Then what does it do? So then, so it may ask the US to step in. The US is already sending an aircraft carrier and various naval assets in the Mediterranean region to support Israel. These will be deployed in close proximity to Israel, and they could then carry out air sorties and target Hezbollah if in case it's required. That would take the conflict beyond its present geographical region. If Iran gets involved in some way, then Iran is not in a position where it runs out of ammunition. It probably has lots of ammunition. So if Israel asks the US to target Iran, then Iran may get the just cause to go to war, all-out war. It has ballistic missiles, it has lots of assets, it has loitering munitions, drones, the Shahed 2 drones and whatnot, and it could target Israel directly. It could target the US bases in the region, in the Middle East region. It could even target US warships. We know that the Iranians have the ability to tail and surveil warships, US warships, without the Americans realizing this is happening. So if Iran gets involved, it's going to be a big conflagration. They are not going to run out of ammunition. And if they are in a position where they run out of ammunition, the Russians may resupply them. Because Iran and Russia have a good relationship. Iran has been selling these drones to Russia. So that's the possibility. China may also be on their side. So you may soon see, if things go in that direction, that the war extends beyond where it is right now. And if Israel finds itself really tight pressed, where they are in a corner, they're running out of ammunition, the US can't help them, they can always fall back on the Samson option, which is that they nuke all their enemies. They have a reasonably good sized nuclear arsenal, maybe 80 or 100 nuclear warheads. They could even do that if they are in a position where they have no option. Then Iran also may go nuclear. They may be close to having enough fissile material for a couple of warheads, maybe more. Who knows what the status is? So you can possibly see this war escalating very rapidly if Iran gets involved. So that's the kind of situation we find ourselves right now in. The India, Middle East, Europe corridor, trade and transport corridor, that is now kind of dead in the water. It's not going to happen. That's great for China. That's great news for China. It's great news for Turkey as well. um, and as Israel goes all out against Hamas, against the West Bank, against Gaza, sorry, the entire Islamic world could come together in opposition to Israel. And nations like Turkey, nations like Egypt, possibly Saudi Arabia, may feel tempted to get involved in some way, possibly militarily. So that's another avenue in which this war could escalate and spill out beyond the Israel region. So we are in a very delicate situation right now. It's a very dangerous situation. Things could escalate in a variety of ways. So it's kind of an inflection point in geopolitics right now. The 2020s were always supposed to be a decade of incredibly rapid geopolitical change, and we are seeing all that right now. Ukraine is kind of forgotten right now. The action is in the Middle East region, in Israel and the surrounding area, and who knows what direction this is going to take. So I'm going to keep an eye on the situation, and I'm going to update you as soon as something new happens. Until then, thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.